Summer of 1526. The heart of Central Europe stands on the edge of a storm that will change the course of history. While the young and determined ruler of the Ottoman Empire, Suleiman the Magnificent, seeks to consolidate his power stretching from east to west, the Kingdom of Hungary struggles with internal conflicts, economic weakness, and political isolation. The plain of Mohács becomes the stage where not only two armies, but two worlds will collide. The conflict between the Ottomans and the Hungarians is the result of centuries of border tension. Ottoman expansion in the Balkans gradually turned the Kingdom of Hungary into a direct target. Struggles over strategic regions such as Belgrade, Serbia, and Bosnia created a lasting rivalry between the two states. Throughout the 15th century, Hungary was seen as the most important defensive barrier of Central Europe against the Ottomans. However, after the death of the powerful King Matthias Corvinus, this structure rapidly deteriorated. Rivalries among the nobility, the weakening of central authority, and financial problems left the kingdom vulnerable. In 1520, Suleiman the Magnificent ascended the throne, inheriting a strong state and a disciplined army from his father, Selim I. Despite his young age, he was highly capable politically, militarily, and legally. His objective was clear: to secure Ottoman dominance in the Balkans, control the gateways into Central Europe, and dismantle any potential Christian alliances before they could fully form. The conquest of Belgrade in 1521 became one of the most critical steps in this grand strategy and effectively opened the road to Mohács. At the same time, Hungary was facing a deep crisis. The young King Louis II was inexperienced and unable to establish full authority over the nobility. The army was disorganized, the treasury nearly empty, and the population exhausted. Military aid expected from the papacy and the Holy Roman Empire either arrived too late or remained largely symbolic. Despite this, Hungarian nobles believed they could stop the Ottoman army in open terrain. In the spring of 1526, Suleiman the Magnificent began preparations for a major campaign. The Ottoman army numbered approximately 80,000 to 100,000 soldiers. Janissaries, Sipahis, Akinjis, and some of the most advanced artillery units of the era formed the backbone of this force. Ottoman artillery, in particular, was superior to that of European armies both in number and technical quality. The Hungarian army, by contrast, consisted of around 25,000 to 30,000 troops and relied heavily on heavily armored cavalry. Its artillery was limited, and coordination among units was weak. The two armies faced each other on the plain of Mohács, a flat area dotted with marshes. Hungarian commanders considered this terrain suitable for halting the Ottoman advance. What they failed to realize was that the plain was ideally suited to Ottoman artillery and highly mobile cavalry units. On the morning of August 29, 1526, the sky was overcast and rain was possible. The Ottoman army took up its positions in an orderly and disciplined manner, while the Hungarian forces waited in a state of haste and uncertainty. Suleiman the Magnificent stood at the center of his army and issued a clear plan to his commanders: draw the Hungarian heavy cavalry into the center and then destroy it with concentrated artillery fire. Toward midday, the Hungarian army launched its attack. Heavily armored cavalry charged at great speed toward the Ottoman center. At first, the assault appeared successful. The Ottoman front lines retreated in a controlled manner. Hungarian commanders believed the Ottoman formation was collapsing. In reality, this withdrawal was a deliberate tactic. Once the Hungarian cavalry advanced deep into the Ottoman center, concealed Ottoman cannons opened fire simultaneously. Trapped in a narrow space, the heavy cavalry suffered devastating losses under the artillery barrage. Horses fell, formations broke apart, and the advance came to a halt. This moment marked the decisive turning point of the Battle of Mohács. At the same time, Ottoman Sipahis and Akinjis attacked the flanks of the Hungarian army. Retreat routes were directed toward marshy areas, turning withdrawal into disaster. Order completely collapsed. The battle quickly turned from a pitched engagement into a total annihilation. King Louis II attempted to flee the battlefield, but fell into a marshy stream. Weighed down by his heavy armor, he was unable to escape and drowned. The death of the king extinguished the last hopes of organized Hungarian resistance. The battle, lasting approximately 1.5 to 2 hours, ended in a decisive victory for the Ottoman Empire. The Hungarian army was almost entirely destroyed. The plain of Mohács was left covered with the bodies of thousands of soldiers. Following this victory, the Kingdom of Hungary effectively ceased to exist. The road to Buda was open to the Ottomans. Hungarian lands would soon be divided between the Ottoman Empire and the Habsburgs, giving rise to a new balance of power in Central Europe and initiating a centuries-long Ottoman-Habsburg rivalry. The Battle of Mohács sent shockwaves throughout Europe. In royal courts and churches alike, the same question echoed: if Hungary has fallen, are we next? This battle represented not only a military triumph, but also a profound psychological victory. For Ottoman historians, Mohács stands as one of the finest examples of military genius and flawless planning, a strategically perfect battle won in an extraordinarily short time. European historians often interpret Mohács as the end of the Middle Ages in Central Europe and the beginning of a new era. On the plain of Mohács, more than a battle was won. A kingdom collapsed, and an empire stepped into the heart of Europe. History is sometimes rewritten in just a few hours. The Battle of Mohács remains one of the most striking examples of this reality. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more historical documentaries.